Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a Boeing 737 pilot and a member of PMDG's tech team. In today's video, let's briefly talk about one commonly misunderstood aspect of the heads-up display. Now, I'm sure that many of you have not even tried the heads-up display, so I can really recommend you to give it a look. There are quite a couple of airlines that are actually using it, for example Scandinavian in the 737-600, or a lot of US airlines, for example Southwest has them on the 737-700. Now, under quite a couple of the videos where I've actually been using the head-up display, I've got the question, Emmanuel, isn't there actually a bug in that the horizon line is not actually looking at the horizon? So we're looking at this line over here, and why is that not down on the horizon? And the answer to that is that even though on the ADI we can call this the horizon, it actually is not. It actually is the zero pitch line. So it's indicating where the aircraft has zero pitch rather than being the horizon. Now, I can understand that this is a little bit confusing, especially because this instrument is called the artificial horizon, isn't it? Well, let's talk about it for a second. The artificial horizon does depict an horizon, but there is something else that comes into play here when we are talking about the heads-up display, and that is the fact that we are actually at altitude, aren't we? So right now we're at 24,000 feet, as you can see on both the altimeter as well as the heads-up display, and this means we're 24,000 feet above the Earth. Or for those of you who prefer it in meters, 7,300 meters above the Earth. Now, how does that have an influence? It's quite simple. When you're on the ground, then the zero pitch line on both the ADI as well as the heads-up display are going to indicate the level of the horizon. But if you're at altitude, then of course the zero pitch line is going to be above the actual horizon. So, if you're looking forward on the heads-up display, then everything you see below the zero pitch line and the horizon actually is the altitude above the Earth that you are flying. So imagine this like, you have your flight path vector over here, that shows you where your aircraft is going. Now, you are not on the ground, so of course you are not going towards the ground either, are you? Now, you are going to see that assuming that this line was actually on the horizon and your flight path vector would be on this line because you're flying straight and level, then you would eventually hit the Earth at the horizon that you can see. I hope this makes sense to you. Now let's try to imagine it in a three-dimensional point of view. If you take your aircraft and you would imagine 0 degrees of pitch, then your aircraft would basically be paralleling the Earth, or the Earth's surface. But it would not hit the Earth's surface. And therefore, our horizon, or rather our artificial horizon on the heads-up display actually has to be above the horizon that you can see outside from your window. Now, under one of my videos I got the question after I explained this, so what's the sense of this? Wouldn't you want to see where the horizon is? And I have to give two answers to this. Number one, no, because it doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is my aircraft's attitude in space, or rather my aircraft's attitude towards the force of gravity. And the second answer is, if I want to know where my horizon is, then I can simply look outside the window and see it. Well, not if I'm an IMC, but it just doesn't matter where the horizon is. It simply doesn't matter. What matters is your aircraft's attitude, and that one is always referenced against the 0 degree pitch line, and therefore this is the line that you can see both on the heads-up display as well as on the artificial horizon on your primary flight display. I hope this one makes sense. So if you have further questions about that particular topic, please put them in the comments below. If you do like my channel, I always appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link, as that is what keeps the channel running and what finances all the add-ons we are seeing in action over here. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm hoping to see you all again very soon.